Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabio for Explain America. And guys, we've got some news about Adam Schiff that it's chilling. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. I don't know if these people are pure evil. I don't know if they're just insensitive. I don't know if they can't put things together in their mind, or they just don't care. But we are less than 48 hours removed from the death of the great Charlie Kirk, a patriot, a legend. And Adam Schiff produces a video. And in this video, he's talking about the new funding bill and scaring people. They're going to take your Medicare away. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. You're going to be out in the cold. This is the type of rhetoric that creates extremists. Now, Schiff knows this. He's not a dumb man by any stretch of the imagination. So, if he's not dumb, then is he trying to get somebody else to take action? Is he trying to intimidate Republicans so that they go along so this doesn't happen to them? Or is he just an insensitive jerk? Maybe, like the title suggests, he is pure evil. I want you guys to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
So in 19 days, the government funding runs out, which means if there is not an agreement between Democrats and Republicans on a spending bill, the government will shut down. Now, maybe that's what the Republicans want. Maybe they want to shut it all down. After all, they've been shutting down the government every day, illegally impounding funds, that is, funds that we have approved on a bipartisan basis. They're withholding in violation of law, rescinding funds also in an unlawful way, that is, money we've agreed upon, they're just unilaterally cutting. Maybe they just want to shut the whole thing down. But if they don't want to shut down the government, they need to come to the table and negotiate with Democrats. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what is at stake right now, because these negotiations are not happening at all really right now. But when they do take place, if they do take place, it's not in a vacuum. They're taking place at a time when millions of Americans are poised to lose access to health care. This is from a number of causes. We're going to lose health care because of massive cuts Republicans are making to the VA and its staff, cuts they're making at the National Institute of Health, NIH, and a lot of the research it's doing, cuts it's making by getting rid of top expertise at the CDC and making it more difficult for people to get vaccines. But most significantly, in their big, ugly bill, they made $1 trillion of cuts to Medicaid, and they eliminated tax credits people need to get health care under the Affordable Care Act. So as a result, in particular, of those changes, millions of people are going to lose access to health care completely, and millions more are going to have the most extraordinary increase in their health care costs that we've ever seen. By some estimates, those Americans who buy their health insurance on the exchanges are going to see their premiums go up by 75%. 75%. Already we're seeing, as a result of that big ugly bill, hospitals closing down. In Willow, California, the only hospital in Glenn County is closing. And it's closing because the federal government won't help keep its doors open, and all the actions we are taking are causing hospitals on the edge of bankruptcy to go over the edge. For people in Willow, California, it means 28,000 people who won't have access to a hospital or an emergency room or a labor and delivery. This is what we're talking about. Denial of access to care, communities losing their hospitals, all the jobs attendant with that. You can't have a vibrant community without a hospital. Who's going to move to a community where you can't get medical care? So when you come to the table, Mr. President, Republicans, when you come to the table, if you come to the table, you want my vote, you're going to have to restore health care to people, millions of people who are going to be losing it because of your negligence or your just willful disregard for the health of the American people. And it's not just about health care. You need to stop the lawlessness. You need to stop the illegal withholding of funds. You need to stop the illegal use of funds to militarize our cities, to grab people indiscriminately off the street. You have to stop using the money we approve illegally. Now, here's the other thing. Even as they're saying they want some kind of a funding bill, they're telling us that if we reach an agreement with them, they don't plan to honor it. Now, how can that possibly work? If they're telling us whatever funding you agree on, we're going to cut your priorities after the agreement is done. That makes no sense at all. So there are going to have to be some assurances that what we agree to, if we get to any agreement, is ironclad. That is, they will not renege, cannot renege, that there are mechanisms in the bill to protect against the continuing illegal use or non-use of government funding. So that's what's at stake in this fight. It takes place at a time when our country is headed down a dangerous road to dictatorship, when we are seeing things in this country we never would have imagined, when we're seeing the administration use its coercive power to cripple universities or to go after law firms who represent unpopular clients, or to silence the media or extort payments from the media in exchange for mergers. We're seeing the requirement that companies pay tariffs or get penalized, or that they give a share of their profits to the federal government or can't export their products. This is unprecedented. We're seeing abuses at the Justice Department, unlike anything in American history, where the weight of that department is used to go after the president's enemies. This is the road to dictatorship. So we cannot approach this funding debate like it is a normal debate at a normal time with a normal administration. You want my vote for a funding bill? You're going to have to agree to restore health care for people that are going to be losing it by millions. You're going to have to agree to reduce the cost of health care instead of having 75% health care costs imposed on the American people. And you're going to have to agree to end the use of federal government money for lawless, corrupt purposes. To me, that's what's at stake in this funding debate.